Hello, Falcons. This is Miss Culbertson. I am actually the Dean of Students here at Summit, and we honestly just wanted to take a quick second to talk to you about what the first day of school is going to look like. And we especially wanted to talk about what that first day is going to look like, no matter whether you're attending with us traditionally, like we always have here at school, or whether maybe you're one of our real-time at home students where you are going to be attending classes at the same time, but you're just going to be doing that via Zoom. Or even for our ESCA students, we wanted to talk about what this first day of school is going to look like for you, because it is going to look maybe a little bit different than it has in the past. So first of all, we wanted to introduce ourselves to you in case you don't know who we are. So we actually have three members of our administrative staff here at Summit. We have our principal, Dr. St. John. We have our assistant principal, Mr. Pursley, and then me, Ms. Culbertson, as the Dean of Students. Now, the first group of students we wanted to address is for those of you that are going to be attending with us here in person at Summit. And we're calling those our traditional students just because you're going to be doing school in the way that's most similar to what we've always done in the past. Now, if you are attending here with us in person, you're going to have a couple of things you're going to need to bring with you every single day and to every class. You are going to need a face mask or a cloth face covering or an appropriate mask. So I've got mine right here. You'll be putting it on for every class, and you'll be wearing it most, if not all of the time when you're at school. You're also going to need to bring your own water bottle with you, some hand sanitizer, and then earbuds that you're going to be using in every class most likely. Also, your teachers are going to be communicating with you and your parents before the first day on Wednesday, August 12th. They'll be communicating with you about those priority materials you need to make sure that you bring with you to class, because we are trying to minimize you having to bring a lot of extra things, especially these first couple of days, as we're trying to minimize the materials that are brought to school. Now, a quick note on supplies and backpacks. We are encouraging you and your parents to store items not needed for the beginning of school, to go ahead and keep those at home for right now until they're needed for activities at school. And we'll let you know when that is. We'll also let you know which materials you need to bring for sure on those first couple of days of school. Also this time, something that's a little bit different than in past years, we are permitting you to carry your backpacks to classrooms this year. We hope this is going to help you support yourself with organizing and also minimizing the need for you to return to your locker a lot of times during the day. So we're encouraging students, if you're able to and if you're okay doing that, to carry a backpack instead of having to go to your locker so often. And locker use this year is optional. Also, what the schedule is going to look like, both for our students that are attending in person and for our real-time students, this actually applies to you as well. We are eliminating our 8-period day. We're trying to cut down on some transitions and keep things as simple as possible. So we are going to be following the green, white, black schedule. So your first day on Wednesday the 12th is going to be a green day. You'll start in advisory, go to green 1, green 2, green 3, and green 4. And then Thursday the 13th, our second day of school, is going to be a white day, where you'll go to advisory, white 1, white 2, white 3, and white 4. And for those that are curious as well, Friday the 14th is going to be a green day again. So we'll just go back and forth between our two block days. Also, for those of you attending in person, and actually for our real-time students that are going to be Zooming in as well, during advisory on that first day of school, you're going to receive instruction on COVID-19 and our return to school plan and what that looks like at Summit for face coverings, how we're going to give you opportunities to wash your hands and use hand sanitizer, how you're going to enter and exit the building and transition to and from lunch, and what those expectations for attendance are going to be, along with some other things as well. You're also going to be determining a seating chart for lunch with your advisory teacher and your advisory classmates. And once you get to advisory, they'll be able to give you some more instruction and guidance on that. For our sixth graders specifically, you are going to get to leave your second block class early on that first day of school to go to the cafeteria, where we're going to give you a big overview of what procedures are going to look like in the lunchroom, both in general and then specifically related to some of our new COVID protocols. Now, specifically for our morning procedures, and this is definitely for our traditional students that are attending in person, students riding buses will be released from buses at 7:27 a.m. This is a little bit later than it has been in the past. You'll still enter through doors 4, 5, and 6. Students arriving via any other mode of transport, you are going to be able to enter the building starting at 7:15, and just like normal, you'll enter through door 11. Once again, your first class will still start at 7:35. One thing that is different this year, though, is that once you are in the building, you are going to report directly to your advisory classrooms as soon as possible. We're really trying to limit congregating in large groups and a lot of students socializing in the hallways. You'll still have that socialization time. It will just most likely be in your advisory classes versus in the hallways. There's also an optional prepackaged breakfast that you'll be able to pick up in the cafeteria and take to your advisory class to eat it during your advisory time. As far as daily procedures go, all students are going to be expected to wash their hands and use hand sanitizer as much as possible when you enter the building, and obviously also to wear your cloth face covering at all times when riding on a bus, entering and exiting the building, and during passing periods. The face coverings are also necessary when social distancing is not possible. And in your classrooms and in the majority of the spaces in school, social distancing is not going to be possible. So make sure you have that cloth face covering. Make sure you keep it on. Students will also adhere to assigned seating during lunch, and we're going to teach all of you your assigned lunch procedures prior to that first lunch on August 12th. So sixth graders, you'll come down before your first lunch and we'll explain everything to you in person. In 7th and 8th grade, we have a separate video that will be coming out to explain those lunch procedures to you. As far as classroom procedures go, like we talked about earlier, all students are expected to wear a cloth face covering in class whenever social distancing is not possible, which is going to be most of the time. Cleaning and disinfecting of your touch surfaces and your desks will be performed by a Summit staff member and will occur regularly near the conclusion of each class period. So you can be aware of that. Just obviously be respectful of the work that your teachers need to do with making sure that they disinfect and clean those desks. And you will have assigned seats in all of your classes. Make sure you adhere to those and obey those assigned seats just for the safety and consideration of everybody else. Now, when you're leaving school at the end of the day, school will still end at 2:20 p.m., which is the same as it's always been. Students leaving via bus will exit at doors 4, 5, 6, or 7 as soon as possible, and our buses will leave the bus lot promptly at 2:27. So make sure you go straight from your 4th block class right out to those buses. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit. These bullets and this information specifically is going to apply to our RealTime students. So if you signed up for RealTime, what that means is that you're going to be attending via Zoom, but you do still have to show up at your normal class times. So as it says here, students attending via RealTime will still be required to Zoom into each of their classes each day, including advisory. And we are going to be taking attendance in these classes, so make sure you show up to that Zoom on time. You will follow the normal bell schedule unless otherwise announced. Now, this next slide I'm going to show you, though, is actually a different bell schedule than normal, and it's going to apply to those first 2 days of school. So, for those of you especially attending via RealTime, make sure you refer to these times because especially your advisory class, those first 2 days is going to be longer. So you'll notice that advisory goes from 7:35 to 8:35. It's actually 60 minutes instead of 20 minutes like it normally is. And that's just because we have so much extra information to convey to you. You'll also notice that pushes the rest of our block classes back. So just make sure that you're looking at those start times specifically just to make sure you can show up at that Zoom on time. Now, this is our normal bell schedule. So for every day except that first Wednesday and Thursday that's coming up, you will follow these times. So at 7:35, you will log into your advisory Zoom, At 8 o'clock, you'll log into your green or white first block class. At 9:28, you'll log into your block 2 class, and so on and so forth. Teachers are going to be monitoring that, so make sure you show up on time so that we can make sure that we count you present via Zoom instead of absent. Now, how do you log in on that first day? Especially for our real-time students, this is some important information. You will first need to log into Canvas, which you can get to by typing in sacs.instructure.com in your web browser. You'll press enter, and then it will actually ask you for a username and password. As it says on your schedule, make sure you have that schedule handy that you got when you got your laptop. Your username is your student ID number, and your password is your locker combination, including the dashes. So make sure you type in those dashes on your password. Both of those pieces of information can be found at the top of your schedule. This is also the same login you'll use for PowerSchool as well. And the Zoom access links, so the links you'll click on to zoom into each of your classes, will be posted on the Sunday agenda for that class, which is on the calendar tab on the Sunday for the appropriate week. So make sure you log into Canvas, click on that calendar button on the left-hand side, and then you should see those agendas posted on Sunday, and that should have the Zoom links there for you. For our students attending via ESACs, 2 pieces of information has already been posted in each of your courses. You have the course introduction module and the week 1 instruction module. Make sure you click through and watch each of those with your parents so that you can both get all of that valuable information. Another note about this week 1 instruction module, just for our ESACs students. All of the work assigned in that instruction module for the first week must be completed by 11:59 on Friday, August 14th. So make sure you're monitoring that and getting your work done and submitted on time. An ESACs introductory letter was sent to parents this past Friday via email. So if you haven't had a chance to review that letter with your parents, make sure that you do that, because that contains some really important information about what ESACs is going to look like for you. And I hope this goes without saying, but obviously it's a very unique year with some unique challenges. But I think as a school, as Falcons, we continue to soar. And I think we continue to find ways in which we can make the best of this situation. Whether you're going to be attending traditionally with us in person, or via Zoom in real time, or even via ESACs, we are so excited for this year. We are so excited to have you with us. And we hope that you know that we are all in this together. Thank you, Falcons. We're looking forward to this year.